we are going to discuss about one of the agreement type, that is partner agreement. Along with that, we'll try to cover the IB functionality, which is solely related to our partner agreement, because we are introducing new entity India region, right? So as it is related to partner, we'll try to cover that as well. And then let us get started with the basic partner agreement. What is there in partner agreement? What happens? So partner agreement, as the name suggests, right? Partner agreement is the agreement between Salesforce and its partners. Okay, we have customers, we have resellers, now we have partners also. Where is that sheet? Yeah. And in that partner agreement, we generally deal with two types of partner agreements. Okay, one is ISV and another is OEM. These are the enrollment types on the partner agreement. So when you're creating a partner agreement, you will have the option to select different enrollment types, which enrollment is used, but mainly we are working on the ISV or OEM partners. So when we say ISV, what is ISV, right? ISV people, ISV force actually, it says independent software vendors. So these are our partners, which are like, they are, if you see the definition, right, it's a way to sell your application to existing Salesforce customers via the app exchange. So they will create their softwares, they will create softwares and put it in the app exchange, and we are selling the application to them. Those are the IC partners. With the help of those partners, they will build some software. We are selling the application along with those softwares which they have implemented, and they're keeping in the app exchange. And then we are selling it to the existing Salesforce customers. You understood? There's a partnership which is happening with those partners who are creating those softwares, and Salesforce is using its application, and we are selling this combined app software up along with the application to the Salesforce customers. This is ISV Force partnership. What is happening? Hey, Manish.
Hey, hi everyone. Sorry, I got stuck in traffic. So.
No problem. So we just started, Manish, 5 minutes back. I was just explaining what is partner agreement and what types we are dealing in partner agreement. Today we'll be covering about partner agreements and IB, because IB is mainly related to partner agreement. Okay. So partner agreement, as the name suggests, it is the agreements between Salesforce and its partners. So who are partners for Salesforce? These are the people who are creating their softwares along with Salesforce. We are using those softwares to sell it to the existing Salesforce customers.
Okay. So in CPQ space, I have dealt with reseller. So here reseller and partner
is different.
Okay.
Reseller we have separately.
Okay. So partner works along with the Salesforce?
Salesforce, yes.
Reseller is just redirection, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Now in partner, right, we have two people. Mainly we are dealing with two types of partners here, two enrollment types. One is ISV and one is independent.
Okay.
And one is ISV and one is OEM. ISV is independent software vendors. So what these people, right, the partnership is happening here. These are the people, along with them, Salesforce will sell its application to existing Salesforce customers via app exchange. Okay.
Yeah.
They will put their softwares in the app exchange. Salesforce will provide its application to those softwares, and that combined we are selling it to the existing Salesforce customers. This comes in ISV force partner agreement types. Second comes is OEM, which is original equipment manufacturer. So original OEM is what is they are doing is it's a standalone solution what they're giving. So you're selling your application as a standalone solution that has a force.com license embedded within your application to either new or existing Salesforce customers, either independently or through the app exchange. Both. Just guys, give me a second. I'm getting one call. Hey, sorry guys, this was a urgent call. So where was I? OEM, right? So it's like an independent solution, standard solution they're providing either through the app exchange or directly to the existing or new Salesforce customers.
Okay.
These two we are using mainly. Then there are other EDA and connector. Those are not, we are not dealing with them. Enrollment types. Mainly we are working on these two enrollment types. When I say enrollment types, like type of partner agreements. Okay. So hope this is clear.
Yes.
Yeah. And let me just start with the partner agreement flow. So what happens, right, as I mentioned in the last call as well, partner agreements, we are using partner accounts only. So there are different record types for account creation when we are creating accounts. So here we are using partner record type. When we are creating account, if we want to go ahead and create partner agreements, right? So let me just show you.
I have one question.
Neil.
Can you
Yes,
just
Neil.
tell about what exactly the partner is? Is it someone who is selling our products to the customer, or is it somewhere? Is it similar to the one which we have in the quoting space, or is it different than that one?
So I'm not sure what to have in quoting space, Neil. But is because Manish told me there are reseller in the quoting space. See, again, we also have resellers, but is it the same or not? I'm not sure. I cannot say on that. Right. But partner agreements here, right? It's like these partners, along with Salesforce, using the Salesforce application, selling their selling their softwares to the Salesforce customers. Okay, it's like somebody who will create a software and they will put it in the app exchange, and Salesforce will implement its application to that software, and then combinedly we are selling to the Salesforce customer. If it is making some sense to you. Neil?
Yeah, Shutosh. It is pretty clear. Yeah, I will come back once I will have it out.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So let me just go ahead and create a partner account quickly. So there are many validations which are implemented as a part of IB functionality. So we'll be seeing that also. See, if I cover IB, I'll be covering all the partner agreement flows as well. So it's better to take a region as India here. That is what I'm going to do. Okay, so that even IB also covered and partner agreement also is covered. Because for all the regions, the flow is same. For AMER, APAC, but additionally for IB, we have implemented many things. Because we have a GST number, we have tax information in place for IB, right? Because in India region, right, we paid for taxes. There is 18% tax rebate also. So that means we have a tax exemption thing and we have a taxable thing also. Like users are taxable or user are tax exempted. That's why so I'll be showing you the IB specific partner agreement here, which will cover existing partner agreement flows as well.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
So Ashutosh, on the same line, like we have IB partner, will we be having some IB reseller also? Like
no,
like
so the reseller part, everything is same, Manish. What is changed is only the template, as we discussed in MSA time, right? MSA, NDA, PSA. Only the template will change, and everything is same for this thing, for reseller. Whatever is functionality is built for APAC region, right? The requirement says that whatever you build for APAC or other regions, same functionality should be there for India also. So there is no change from that front. But in partner only, everything is changing because going downstream, right, we are creating contract. And once we create contract, that contract will have orders, invoices, and billing info. So those things will change there. That's why it's a very big thing, a big implementation on the partner agreement.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, because in reseller, we don't have any downstream. Even in PCA, PSA, MSA, NDA, or any other flow, right? We don't have any downstream, but only in partner agreement, We create the contract and we give it to the COA team, and then they create orders, they take it to the PBO, and then invoices will be generated, and then billing information, right? So it will impact actually whatever information we pass on.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
These are the few ISV PAMs, ISV GSTM PAM people. These are important when we pass on the data to the downstream, because they will be using this data for their purpose, or triggering some of the rules or some validations they have that they should not be blank. That's why I'm passing on this data. Here on the partner agreement creation, right, we mainly need the address. Because address defines whether this is a India region agreement or any other region agreement, right? So here billing country will be IN. And again, there is a validation in the normal flow that you cannot have different countries when you're creating the account. You cannot say that I am shipping country is US and billing country is India. It will throw a validation in your approvals only.
So this is only for IB or like for all other countries?
No, all other countries also.
Okay.
Other countries also. Here, let us say something. Telangana.
I think that's where reseller comes into picture, like billing, shipping becomes different.
Yes, maybe. And here on this, fields also, we have a validation now. That is a part of IB implementation, recently closed IB MVP Plus, where the billing city cannot be less than 3 digits. So if I put HYD or HY only, maybe D also, HYD also it will accept. But if I put HY here, either billing city or shipping city, and when after creation of the partner agreement, right, when I try to send it for approval, or when I try to create the contract, right, that time it will throw error. So contract creation, it will throw the validation saying that on your account, you don't have address properly filled. Okay, so that also we'll see. Maybe I'll just keep this as HY. And for pin code, zip code validations, we have implemented that. So there should be minimum of this, right? If it is less, it will throw a validation. So I'll show you this also. Suppose I'm giving 10,000 as a shipping code. It will throw a validation when we are creating the COA contract. So I will use this term COA contract creation or create COA contract. That means we are creating default contract or a draft contract and a PCCT, partner contract channel term or channel contract term. Yeah. So, it's like, sorry. Yes, I think.
Yeah. Is this validations common to all the revenue regions or only for India?
Only for India.
Only for India. Okay.
Only for India. And shipping street, billing street length is again, there is a validation. It cannot be more than 100. Okay. So suppose if I enter more than 100 alphabets here or digits, right, it will throw a validation again during the COA record creation. And there is a validation on the shipping country, billing country, that it cannot be India, it should be IN.
I think this rule is there for all the
yes.
countries.
Yes. It should be 2 digits only.
Yeah. State might be Telangana or TN code should be.
No. So again, on the state, we have a validation. Why that validation came in? There is a button called validate GSTIN. So GSTIN number is a VAT number, customer VAT number. You might have heard that in normal terms also, right? When we go to market, there is a GSTIN bill we ask. So there is a GSTIN number which is tagged to a particular state. For every state, there is a particular GSTIN number. Suppose Telangana is there. So it starts with 36 state code, 36 dash whatever. That full GSTIN code is there. So that validation says is whenever you validate that GSTIN, in the back end, we check whether the billing state is full or not. It should be a proper billing state. If I write only Telangana or TELAN, that also it will fail because state not found. But the GSTIN in the portal, in the government portal, it checks, it should be proper name. Telangana or Mumbai or Delhi or Kerala, like that. Okay. So I'll show you that also. Suppose we'll give it here something. ELLAN will give like that. Okay. For now, these are the things. And Nikhil, anything you want to add? Or please stop me and add it here.
As of now, nothing was to if the
Yeah, sure.
it covered better. So.
Okay, so the account is created now. It's a partner account which we have created. Yeah. And again, why there is a need to introduce IB or India billing entity first place? So earlier, what was happening, right? Whatever agreements we were having, whatever billing or bills we were generating, right? Those were in USD currency, and entity we were using is Singapore. So everything was going in USD currency and through Singapore. The dealings were happening, the business was happening in Singapore because we were not having Indian currency. To implement that Indian currency exchange, we had to implement IB here, India billing entity. We have to introduce INR as a currency. That's why India region came into picture, because APAC, when they say, right, whatever businesses are happening in APAC, for India also, if some agreements were happening, some businesses were happening in India, the currency was USD and the entity was used as Singapore. So to make a change on that, right, they introduced India as the region and currency INR, so that proper bills are generated and dealings will happen between the different businesses. Now, okay. Generally, we use new business opportunity for all of this agreement creation. Any type of agreement you take, whether it's MS legal agreement, reseller or partner, the opportunity type is new business add-on, which is mostly used. Amount will enter. The currency will select opportunity currency is INR here. So again, there is one more thing. Whatever currency you select here, right, when you're creating the agreement, the same mirrored image will reflect there also. So you will find INR currency only during the creation. Later on, you can update. You're always allowed to update the currency. Let us give close date in October somewhere. Stage is identifying an opportunity. Again, this is also fixed. We use this only. If you close it, then you will not be able to create the agreement. So, new business. This you can choose anything. Mostly it is new business again, because we are working on the new business partner agreement. Anything can be there. Forecast category. I think these are sufficient here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I've created the opportunity. Now, who will be creating the partner agreements? There is profile is Alliance Portal Manager and Alliance S2S. The people we call them as PAMs and POPs. PAMs is our Alliance Portal Manager. Sorry, PAMs is our Alliance S2S and POPs is our Partner Operations team. That means Alliance Portal Manager. So mainly these two people are going to create the agreements. So I will log in as Alliance Portal Manager. Oh, there is one user, OEKO, who is having all the permissions, and the profile is Alliance Portal Manager. He is from the Partner Operations team. So POPs who are going to create.
Astos actually it become jumbled like PAM, POPs. Can you please again explain like what are those two or three, whatever is there?
So PAMs and POPs only are generally creating the agreement. There are two teams actually.
Okay.
PAMs is our Alliance S2S profile. I'm talking in terms of profile. And POPs is Partner Operations teams, which are our Alliance Portal Manager profile. Okay. So they only are doing and creating the partner agreements. They are our partners, I would say, in that sense. They are creating the agreements and all the access they have. And again, in that also, the PAMs, right, the Alliance S2S profile, they will have less access. They will not have access to all the fields on the agreement, but POPs team, Partner Operations teams will have the access more.
Okay, so we can having less access and POPs is having more access.
Right. And if you want to know the business sense, right, where they are used, and there are a few KTs for partner agreements that I already shared in the link. Old KTs are there when this agreement started, right? Those you can go through.
Okay.
But this is for now. PAMs and POPs are going to create. I will log in as one of the POPs persons. All the testing, all the development should go in and around that person from POPs, OEKO. Okay, but Alliance S2S also should have limited access to a few of the, buttons or few of the fields. Right. Even agreement creation also, right? If I log in as any of the Alliance S2S people, I will not see all the fields editable during the creation itself. But when I log in as Alliance Portal Manager, that means OEKO, I will see that everything is editable during the creation. That is the thing. Let me just do it quickly without wasting much time. Why we are, learning about IB and partner agreement, because this is a hot item. So Saiti asked me like, what is a hot item she is going to work in the upcoming month, right? So IBE, we recently completed the E2E, IB MVP Plus. We entered the UAT phase, but when we were testing, right, we found out that there are many scenarios which are not covered. And why they were not covered? Because it was not explicitly mentioned in the requirement. And if it was not explicitly mentioned in the requirement, it was not developed also. So I have created a quick to just check out all the scenarios, okay, with different possibilities, which will help in testing and even development also. So Thima is working on it currently. Okay, in the development side, we have taken up one story, but whatever you see marked in yellow, right, those are on hold scenario for end-to-end. That means we need to build the logic. The reason is why these are on hold, because approvals are not there, or one of the functionality, they're expecting this field to be null, but it is not happening, or they're expecting that one field to be editable, that user don't have access to that, update the field. Like that, the issues are there. Okay, so whatever you see in yellow, right, these are on hold scenario, and we will be covering in this month. And December 6th is the release date. We are planning to release it in production.
Okay, so whatever IB things we are having here, so those are being released as part of App Store release or in the separate IB release?
No, we will release in the App Store release only.
Okay.
The November 6th App Store release, we are planning to do it. So it will be deployed to QA and apps QA to SB1 only whenever it is done.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, but I will not have all the functionality to show because currently the IB is implemented in E2E.
And
So
what
I'll-
is P2 sandbox here?
Yeah, let me just show in E2E. I just got them because few of them are there in QA2 SB1, but we only release September items in QA2 SB1. Okay, so if the latest IB item that we have implemented, that will not be able to show in this environment. So let me just quickly take this one. Again, there are a lot of things here. I mean, issues when we change the environment. Something is there in this environment. Something
Yes,
is there
like these across the environment itself, there are many discrepancies.
many discrepancies. Yes. So I think I can take this one, right, Nikhil? Should not be a problem.
Yeah, you can take this.
You guys, I
62 IP.
Here, I think it should be okay. So already I'm taking existing opportunity from the agreement. I took one of the opportunities. I think let's check what do we have any agreements here. There are few. So what I'm checking is whether we have an existing contract created already. So this is there. So what will happen? There is again a validation that if you have existing contracts created, an account can have only two different types of PCCTs. Okay. So this is a PCCT, partner channel contract term, and this is a default contract. Both of them are used in our downstream teams. So they will be using the data from these two objects, PCCT and default contract. Right? That's why an account can have only one OEM and one ISV force. So this you see, right, when initially I explained, this is ISV force or ISV agreement. So the same thing will reflect here also. And that means that I can have only one ISV force PCCT and one OEM. If I try to create one more agreement with same enrollment type and try to generate this PCCT, it will throw error saying that you already have a duplicate record. That is a validation we have. So just I'll remove this one and we'll quickly create this. I'll delete. We can delete this. Whenever we get this that validation, right, that there's a duplicate PCCT available, we just come to the existing record, find the duplicate ID and delete it. There are a lot of validation actually on the partner agreement on the UI. So we'll go through them. Mostly we'll be able to cover all the validations. Let me log in as OEQ. As I was saying, right, this is the Alliance Portal Manager. That means a POPS, Partner Operations Team. This person belongs to the Partner Operations Teams who is having the profile as Alliance Portal Manager. And there are some specific permissions which are required to access CLM objects. That permission also is given here. So CLM objects access Portal Manager. Without this, you cannot create agreement, you cannot access. Okay, one thing I think I need to again do is update the account. Okay, let it be. Later we'll do it. Because we tried to update account address side to show all the validations, but not a problem. We can do that here as well. So I click on new button. Again, there are two ways how you can create a partner agreement. Mostly how business is doing is they create an account opportunity and then create agreement from here. We'll have two agreement types. Mess and partner, we only create partner agreement. Second is you go to the agreement object and you create a partner agreement from there. But in that case, what you have to do then, you have to tag the account and opportunity separately. But here it will auto-populate at least.
Can you just show once, like, how do we get that NDA agreement option on account?
That will get only with the profile user, Nikhil. It is not accessible even to system admin also.
Oh.
So legal, when a legal person, like legal user, when I say that means legal manager profile or legal profile, if either of these two profile user logs in and go to the account, then they will have option here. Let me go to the account first. Okay, let us first create and then we'll show you.
Yeah, first.
So we'll create the ISV force, ISV and OEM. We are using these two, which I explained in the beginning.
Okay.
Other two we don't have any approval. So it's just like directly we are creating it and there are no products we can add. So maybe later on business will implement. And here, don't think that okay, this partner account, primary account is blank, so there is an issue. It's a functionality that this will always be blank. But when we go to the next page, it auto-populates based on the opportunity. So here you see, right, the opportunity is populated.
Calculated field, something like that.
Yes. Because I initially raised a bug saying that this is not coming, but then it came back and said, okay, this is how it is built.
Okay, yeah. Thanks for letting us know, because in the first go it looks like that.
Yeah, right. Even we had the same doubt, Nikhil and me. So now you have edit partner agreement page. Here you will populate, see partner account, primary account is all automatically populated. This is, you can see. Now application is a mandatory field. Okay. It's just externally one object is there applications, which is a mandatory field you have to give. And request type is new partner always. PCCT default contract will be generating in the end. LRO is again a mandatory field. This object. And currency now you see, because on opportunity it was INR. That's why here also currency is INR. Customer full legal name is nothing but the account name.
Okay.
Here if you see, right, this is the account name. Here also we have a validation. If it is less than 3 digits, or sorry, 3, what do you call, alphabets, 3 characters, yeah, then it will throw a validation. So let's have a 2 characters, and we'll see the validation. Now, here one thing what you don't see is the GSTN information. If I scroll down also, you will not find it. One more important field is sales ops will be putting. Let's put OEQ. Partner operations person who will be approving it. So whenever we are sending the agreement to approval, right, the second approval is a person who is populated here from partner operation or sales ops teams. So we have kept OEQ only, that it will be easy for us to approve. Right. Now, but the GSTN section will come when we select India region. If I don't select India region, if I select any other region, the GSTN section will not populate when I save the record. Make sense here?
Yes.
Yeah. And there is secondary tax ID field, which is implemented recently, which is a mandatory field. Okay, along with this GSTN number, they want a secondary tax ID also. And TAN number is different from the GSTIN for India. So it's a secondary tax ID different from what we provide here. So what I'll do, I'll give.
So after GST also we have something.
Yes. And there are two options what we can put here. If we have the 6-digit TAN number, whatever 10 digit or 6 digits, if we have that number available, we'll enter it. Users will have it. Else, we just enter not available. Any other value other than these two, I mean a proper TAN number or not available in this format, if you see right in the help text, then it will throw a validation. Yes, I see. Okay. So I can show. Yes.
Partner tax type as cess and non-cess. Is there any difference?
Yeah, lot of difference. So currently, any company in the market, right, when they start their business, when they start, suppose, okay, see, there is one special economic zone is there where you will get the lands in the cheap prices,
Yes.
right? And there is, just a second. Sorry guys. So SEZ and non-SEZ, right? SEZ is special economic zone. In Hyderabad, we have Infosys in my area. So it is called Hyderabad SEZ, Infosys Hyderabad SEZ. Because they got the land in very cheap prices. Everything, whatever they want to implement here, they'll get it in very cheap or very less prices. Right? And they have the option of tax exemption also. Because they are in this zone, SEZ zone. Right? They can be exempted from the tax which is paid to the government. That option is always available for the SEZ customers. Okay, but a non-SEZ customer will not be having the option available for tax exemption. They are always taxable. You go to Infosys STP, they always have to pay the taxes. Even the land also they purchase is more. Whatever they are doing, right, even some additional work, extra additional building also they want to provide. They cannot go to the government saying that, no, we want a tax exemption. We are building a quarter for laborers. No, they cannot. Because that is not a special economic zone. If you want to have a tax exemption, you go to that place. Right? So the companies, right, that is what happens. In Bangalore also, Wipro SEZ is there and Wipro non-SEZ is there. SEZ will have the tax exemption. So these companies will have the option to get the tax exempted from the government. But the non-SEZ companies will not have it. That is how it works. There is a whole funda here. So who will decide whether it is SEZ or non-SEZ? The GSTI number will decide. Okay. So if the GSTI number in the government portal, we are directly validating or we are fetching the details from the government portal. That this company in the government portal is coming under SEZ bracket. So whether they should have the option of tax exemption or whether they should not have, that our system will decide based on the validation from the government portal. So I'll show you how it is happening. There's a PwC government portal we are verifying. Suppose I give Wipro SEZ here and the GSTI number for that. So if you see in my sheet, right, GSTI number for Adani Ports and Special Economic Zone Limited in Maharashtra. So these are different states and I've copied the currencies from Google. Karnataka Grameen Bank non-SEZ is there. Wipro Limited Karnataka SEZ is there. Hope you understood, right? This SEZ and non-SEZ, what is happening? For SEZ, for SEZ you will have the option of exemption. For non-SEZ you will not have the option of exemption. And we'll see it, the different features also. SEZ again, different scenarios will come. So here, and let me just put the mandatory fields here first. Okay, customer signing contract also. So again, the customer signing contract feature is there in legal, reseller, everywhere. What it will happen once your agreement is done, right, is approved, you send it for e-signature, final part. E-signature with the customer. So customer signing contact, whoever is there in this field, they will get the link saying that you please sign this agreement. Again, we are sending it to the customer. Here customer is our partner. Okay. So now, I think let us enter the GSTN also. Let me go ahead and enter a non-SEZ first. And once we enter this value, right, and click on save button, there is a validate button which will come, which is again implemented as a part of IB. See, secondary tax ID validation it throws saying that please enter a 10-digit TAN number. So even if it is 10-digit also, there is a validation that this should be in this format. So what I will do, I will enter a not available. I don't have it. And even in not available also, it is case sensitive. If you enter not available in small or without space, it will throw the same validation error. So this is how this validation has been built. It has to be perfect, either not available or you have the value.
Okay.
Even ignore case also they have not used. So we have this. If you see, right, there is a validate GSTN button. I have the GST number in place. Partner tax type is non-SEZ initially. See, there are two fields here, and this section also. The section came up because we have selected region as India. If you don't select Indian region, then this section will disappear. It will not be displayed on the page itself. By default, a company is taxable per PO. By default, they are eligible to pay taxes. And the business type is business to business, B2B or B2C, business to consumer or business to business. Now, partner tax type is manually updated. We have the access to this field, but there is a field called taxpayer type. These two are nothing but as it is same. Only difference is this is in our control, but this taxpayer type is in control with the government portal. So when we validate this GSTIN, these fields will be populated. I'll show you how now. So here also you have the option to update the GST number. Suppose there you forgot to add something or you missed something, right? You can add it here again, or you can remove. Now, first step is done because we have provided correct format of GSTIN. Our GSTN is validated successfully. This is just a format validation we are doing. First step. Second step is we are checking the India government portal about the details of the GSTIN. So please click on next to get the GSTIN details from India government portal. I click on next button. GSTIN details for India has been successfully retrieved from government portal. Click on finish to complete the process. So now you will see these fields repopulated. See.
Ashutosh, is there an external system that is calling the API?
There's an API call out. Yes.
Okay.
So I think API call out to the PwC government portal.
Okay. In the test environments also, we are using the government portals. Okay.
So you guys see, right? Taxpayer type is non-SEZ. Tax number status is active. GSTN state block status is unblocked. And this is a tax information where we are copying three fields. Tax ID, B to business, and tax type is GSTIN.
And how it is categorized, like business to business or business to customer?
So whenever there is a value here, whenever this field is populated, it is always B2B, business to business.
Oh,
Whenever it is blank, you have B2C, business to customer.
okay.
That means you don't have a GST number, you're directly dealing the business to customer, and then it is a business to business in this case. Is it fine?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah. Now, let me, Now, what will happen? Suppose, in this case, I provided non-SEZ, right? So suppose by mistake or somehow while creating, I'll provide SEZ. Or in another scenario, we provide non-SEZ here, and what we get from India portal is SEZ. Right? Suppose instead of providing non-SEZ GSTIN, I provided here as SEZ GSTIN. After validation and API call out, this will throw me a SEZ taxpayer type. Then what will happen? Any update on the agreement I do, I'll get this validation error. Partner text type provided is wrong. Please provide the same taxpayer type value received from the India government portal. So there is a validation that it is checking. This should match. Anywhere, if you don't proceed, suppose when we are getting the value from portal, this is SEZ and this is non-SEZ. That means they are not matching. But somewhere in the approvals, you will get the error. So we have provided the validation such that you will end up getting that error in your next step or any other step. But you cannot proceed with full agreement creation or full agreement with approved status. That is how the validation is built. If these are not matching, you'll get that validation in the approval stage then. Or you'll get the validation and create CO stage. Right? That means this has to be in sync always. That is one thing. Second is, suppose I give the currency as USD. So one more benefit of SEZ customers is that they will have this USD currency available, but non-SEZ will not have. So there is a validation here again. If the partner text type for India is SEZ, currency can either be USD or INR. But if partner text type is non-SEZ, it will only be INR. Hope this is making sense. Any questions here? Because this is non-SEZ, I'm trying to save it as USD. I'll again just get this validation.
Yeah, it's clear, Ashutosh.
Yeah. Now, what next step after we do this validation is done? We add the product. Ultimately, what we have to sell to the customer? It's a product, right? Yes. And the product we are getting from our partners. So, ISV force for this thing. Let us take this one. So I added the product. It is added here in agreement partner product catalog. And one more thing, guys, whenever you do any update on the agreement, right, this request type field will always nullify. This is how it is built. We just wanted to be like this. So whenever you make any change and save it, right, this will again become blank. You again have to populate it, because for approvals, you cannot go without saving this field. So here, I click on submit and preview. See, I got the error here. Billing company should be at least 3 digits or 3 characters. Yeah, it's not visible here, but yeah, it will show. Billing company name should be at least 3 characters. Similarly, you will get all those validations which I tried to show you, right, in QAT as given. If I go to account, we have already, close to 730. But once you try, you'll get all those validations also. If you want, I can show you one.
So is there a edit field in the agreement level, or we have to go back to the address and change the address?
You cannot change the address from agreement level.
Okay.
Here I gave billing code as what, 5000, 50,009, and shipping city as HY. I'm saving it. Go and submit for approval. Get all these validations. Billing and shipping city length should be 3 character. Billing and shipping pin should be 1000 to this range. Okay, like that you'll get the errors. And here also one more error I wanted to show, right? So that suppose you provide TG code for this one, billing TG code. That validation is there only for billing. That validate GSTIN. So now I go ahead and validate this again. See. It's not aligned with the billing state because our billing state is not proper. Even if spelling mistake is there, because we are validating it through the portal, right? It will throw up validation. So that we have to be very careful. Now I think we can send it for a company full name. Again, it got wiped off. So these are the approvals which get triggered. This is the product approval, first one.
Okay.
Sorry, this is the product
What
approval.
will
Yeah.
trigger this product approval? Like if we apply some discount or in every normal process also this will be triggered.
Any normal process this will be triggered. This is same for any of the regions.
Okay, so there is nothing like auto approval in this process?
No. Users has to sign in and log in and approve it. There is one thing which is called delegate approver. So for testing purpose, what we can do, right, is assigned to people will be first level manager and sales ops. But delegate approver, you can make yourself as a delegate approver or whatever, right, logged in user. So that if all the delegate approver is one, you can directly just log in. Suppose OEQ is a delegate approver for everyone. I'm logged in as OEQ. So I can just submit it. And when I see that my approval section, I will be able to update all the approvals. Now, since here I selected INR region, right, because it is non-SEZ, I did not get the USD approval. But one more USD currency approval is there, for which 2 queues it will trigger. So the person from those queue only can approve that USD currency. There also you can make yourself as a delegate approver. I'm just give me a minute. Getting on go. Oh, okay, sorry guys. Again. So this is now, okay, this is submitted right here. Now I'll go back and return. So I'll not waste time on approving from each people. I'll just directly change the status on the agreement.
Create what?
I will directly change the status on the agreement. I'll make it approved.
How that can be done?
Yes. User will not do it, but they always have access to do it.
Okay.
See, now it is changed to pending approval. Initially, it was approval required. Right? Else, what we'll see here, right? If I go to my approvals, I'm logged in as OEKO, and for some people, either assigned it to or delegate approval is OEKO. So we'll see that return, approve, reject button is there or save a comment. You see here also for Danny Nosetti, delegate approval is my name and OEQ is there. So I'll just go and approve. Simultaneously, this also will approve because here also OEQ is the delegate approval.
Okay.
I'll add a comment. Now, second also automatically that first is approved, right? So if you go to all approvals, there are 6 approvals, right? In that we have approved first one, we have approved this one. So automatically it will go to the next one. It is assigned to OEQ here, it is assigned to the next one. Automatically, once this is approved, it will go to this and this. Here 2 queues are there. 2 different queues are there. Mike Wolf and Deal Days Alliance is here. So I have taken OEQ again as a delegate approver for this. To save our time, we'll go to my approvals. We are actually taking a little extended session today because we have not covered many things. And next week I won't be available. That's why I want to cover this one today. Okay. So this is now assigned to Mike Wolf. First one from one queue. I can directly approve. Mike Wolf delegate approval is OEQ. That's why I'm able to approve it. See, in original real-time scenario, right? Only this assigned to is there. So the different business users will get emails, but it depends on them whether they will approve it in 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, like that. Unless until they approve it, it will not come to the next approver. Now this is completed. we'll go to my queues and we will find that it is pending from the queue approval. So Deal Desk Alliance is there as one of the queues. In that, we have different users. I have created delegate approver for one of the users. That's why I'm able to see this option, an approval option. So for approving any queue approval right, we have to take the ownership first. So what will happen in actual scenario, once these individual approvals are done, it will be assigned to the queue. Any person from the queue can take up the ownership and approve it. This is how it is built. So any person from Deal Desk Alliance queue, we can go to the queues in setup and we can find that who are there in this queue. But yeah, for now, OEQ will take the ownership. And once he takes the ownership, it will come in the My Approval section. There is one error because I know. Got this error earlier also. So generally, this will not happen. This OEQ is only approving everything. He's only sending and he's only approving. That's why the validation.
Yes, just
So. And here the problem is OEQ is only the sales ops person.
we do not have any other person with this.
That's why. So what we'll do now, we can directly change it for now. Or I can do it with my user also, but I need to log out as for here. Okay, guys, you understood, right, these approvals? So I'll not take much effort this time on this approval.
Yes, we
Yeah, understood.
we need
Yeah. So what will happen? Sorry.
Maybe some other issue
Right.
not to encounter. So we'll ask you again then.
Yes. See, this is happening because we have made OEQ only the sales ops person and this OEQ only the approver. So if we change the sales ops person, that will be okay. That will be fine. But here, what will happen after the approval is completed, right? The product also will be approved and agreement also will be approved. And when I'm changing, I have to approve both manually. But when with the approvals or when we do through the approvals, both will approve. The product approval and the agreement approval. So this I have shown about. Okay, one more thing is your agreement should be approved for the default contract creation. So now since this is approved, right, I can create it. I can create the default contract. Click on that button, create COA record, and you will find create contract, creating the default PCCT, the partner channel contract term. And these are the successfully synced. You'll find the links here. And this is these two objects our downstream team COA is using. So if on contract, if I find, I will see the data. I'll see the tax information, which will later on, which will be taken to the orders and then billing invoices and all. The registration number we are sending the business type, we are sending the tax type. If tax type, if the GST number is null or is blank, The tax type will show here as none, 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 and business type will be B2C, business to customer, consumer. And you'll find it VAT number also is populated. Secondary tax ID is populated, not available. This is all coming from the agreement. And tax exempt type, tax information section is there, right? So exempt type is coming as taxable per PO, which is populated from the agreement itself. So these are the data which is coming from the agreement. We're passing it on. Of the contract. Any questions here? This is the draft contract. The COA team, right, channel order application team, they will clone this contract and create an activated contract, which is actually what our Q2C team works on. Okay, they will not use this contract itself. They will clone this and they will use activated contracts. Change the status to activated. This will always be in draft status.
Okay, so like, what is the difference of this contract and the contract which is being generated in CPQ? Like, do you know about that one?
No, it is draft only, right? There's a draft version and those are activated contracts. From there only the orders and invoices will be created, not from this.
Okay, can you come down like in CPQ and the contract, if we click on create asset line, come down.
We don't have that. Because it's not the same, what do you call, record type what they're using, right? Okay, create asset lines, this one, huh?
Yes. Like this option only we use for creating the asset lines on this contract.
This person will not have anyways privileges to do that.
Maybe some access.
But definitely they cannot create asset lines from a different draft contract. That is what my understanding is.
Okay.
Yeah. Just the data, COA team needs a data, right? What do you call a dummy contract from where they want to clone the data. They need this one, a draft version. This will never be used anywhere. Draft version of the contract, which we are providing to them. Okay, now this is all about non-SEZ GSTIN we are passing. Any doubts in this? Otherwise I'll go to SEZ one.
So this is what? Non-GST one, right?
Right. Non-SEZ GSTIN.
Yes, so this one is okay.
Are we good?
Yes, that's very good.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. So let us change the GSTI now. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the scenario. I mean, this is actually one of our new implementation where what we are expecting is, suppose after the contract is created, after the PCCT is created, right? People are using it for invoices. Invoices also generated. Suppose orders, invoices, everything is generated billing. But now users come back and update the GSTIN here. They are saying, no, we don't want to use this GSTIN. We want to use some other GSTIN. Okay, in that scenario, whatever change I do here, we will validate it because any change you do on the GSTIN, you have to validate it. Once you validate, you don't know what will come from the portal, whether it's a non-SEZ, whether it is active status, inactive status, right? Whether it is SEZ, non-SEZ. So whatever the data is coming, right, that should flow to the default contract and all the activated contracts. See, currently, suppose I make any update here. Can I expect that to happen or to flow it directly on the default contract without any trigger point? No, right? Because these two are different objects. And I mean, hope this is making sense to you. You have to clearly understand what is happening. I make any update on the agreement. I want that update to reflect on the default contract.
Okay, so like what is the relation here of the agreement and the contract? Like see, on top of agreement, like some contract will be created, right?
Right.
So last active would be the default one, or like which one will be the default contract?
So I created agreement. On that, I can create only one draft contract.
Okay.
From that default contract, our downstream team can create multiple hundreds of activated contracts
Okay.
for renewals, for
We
new.
created that will be treated as default contract.
Right.
Okay.
So, but suppose there is an update on the upstream data. Suppose there is an update on the GSTIN. How the data will flow to this default contract? How the data will flow to the active contracts?
Okay.
Right? Because these two are different objects.
Yes, these are different objects.
Just a second, please. Yeah. So for that only, we have built a story, a default sync story, default contract sync. What it will do is, suppose our downstream team has created or used this default contract to create 100 active contracts, and the invoices are generated out of it, and everything is done. So our focus is to update this default contract and active contracts. Later on, their system will take care. For doing that update, we have built a logic. What it will do is, any change you do here on the GSTIN, or some few related fields, mainly the GSTI number, anything related to the tax, because this is ultimately the revenue generating thing, right? This is only from where you are impacting the money. Whether it is tax exempted or PO, is it SEZ or non-SEZ. So any update you do for the tax information, it will again trigger, the approval status will again trigger. That means it will change to approval required. And once you make that approval status as approved, then you will have a chatter notification saying that there are few contracts which are available to be synced. Okay, I'll show you now how. Maybe this case it will not work because, as I mentioned, right, there are few scenarios which are not covered. So our B2B to B2B, this non-SEZ to SEZ is not covered here because we don't have approvals. Let's try that. Okay. Vice versa is working fine. Here, I think it will be marked in yellow. Non-SEZ to SEZ. Say these two are marked in yellow. We are working on the first scenario. Let me do that. Yeah. Now there is one more implementation which will come along with the SEZ thing. So let's take the SEZ GSTIN. I click on save button. I change the GSTI number from non-SEZ GSTIN to SEZ GSTIN. Now I clicked on, there is no other change unless until I do the validate GSTN thing. So I clicked on validate GSTN button. What it will do, it will only validate the format, first step. Second, it will fetch the details from the government portal.
There should be no, this is as per my understanding, there should be no much difference from the flow perspective for this SEG and non-SEG one. Data may be different, right?
So there are few changes, Manish, which we implemented as a part of SEZ GSTIN. See, flow-wise, this is same. But additionally, you will have the option of tax exemption. So when I was talking about SEZ and non-SEZ difference, right, I told that SEZ customers will have the option of tax exemption, but non-SEZ customers will not have.
Yes.
Right? So now it is SEZ. You see, taxpayer type is SEZ.
Okay.
Right?
So people will have to pay the taxes.
Right. No. Now they have the option of tax exemption.
Okay.
So for tax exemption, what they have to do? They have to upload a tax document, a LOA document saying that this is the document. Once this document is approved, they are tax exempted. They don't have to pay taxes. Okay, so before going to that, right, this is a validation here. Now these two are different. I'll keep it like that. I'll not change anything, right? We'll see that validation again somewhere. I go to tax exemption tab. This tab was not available earlier when it was non-SEZ. Now this tab is enabled. I clicked on do you want tax exemption? Yes, I want. Now these are the approved documents already. So system will allow you to give approved documents also. Suppose earlier somebody used this GSTI number and they added the tax document and they got that document approved. Right. So there is one more object we are using, tax exemption certificate. So there is a new tax exemption certificate record which is created once you upload a document and approve it. And once you do that, if you're using the same GSTI number again, right, then you will have the option to select the existing approved document only instead of uploading a new one all the time. I can, explain it again if there is any doubt.
No, like what I am understanding, like if this is SCG1, so they will have to pay the taxes, and if they want some so relaxation or like exemption, they need to upload some of the documents, right?
Right.
Okay.
Initially, by default, everyone needs to pay the taxes.
Mm-hmm.
But now they want saying that I want a tax rebate, I want tax exemption, right?
Mm.
Then they have the option to upload a new document, or they can use the existing documents which are already approved. If they are using the existing documents which are already approved, it will not go to the approvals. This button is there, right? Attach pre-approved document. You just directly click on this and it will directly take the document and you don't have to do this. You don't have to select also. Automatically it will take.
Okay.
Ashutosh, is there a link like in the maybe for us, the finance system gives us the certifications here? It should be a valid certificates that we need to upload?
No. For testing purpose, you can upload any certificate. But when we go to the actual business, right, the users, they will get an email notification. They'll come back to this agreement. And then when they log in, right, for finance team, they will see the document attached here.
Okay.
On the screen. And they will validate the document. And if it is not proper, they will reject it.
Okay.
Once they reject it, again, the status will come back to taxable per PO, saying that you're not tax exempted, you have to pay the taxes.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Now the validation came again.
Right.
Partner tax type is not same. So we have to change it. Now I updated it. I go to this document. I clicked on this. So what will happen, right? I'll show you this also. I have option to select the new document. For new document, I have to provide the start date and end date and upload the new document. And reason for uploading the new document, because you already have approved documents, it will ask that, okay, why do you want to enter the new document? So you can enter the start date for the document. There will be 5 years tenure. For that 5 years, this tax document will be applicable. See, it is 22 to 27. So till 27, users don't have to pay the taxes. They are tax-free, tax-exempted.
Okay.
So any start date I take here, suppose I take from 2018, March or September 5. Then it automatically, after 5 years date, it will populate, end date. Okay? Like that it will populate. And we can click on upload files. As soon as you upload the file, your exempt type becomes taxable becomes tax exempt. So instead of uploading the new button, new document, right, I'll take an existing one. Let me click on this button, attach pre-approved document. So many documents are approved. Tax exempt type has been updated to exempt and file is attached successfully. This is the banner message we get. Let me refresh it. The same message you will get when you upload a document also. As you can see, there is an exempt type change to exempt. But what happened? Is clear, right? Any questions here?
No, there's no question as of now.
It's clear.
And this approval status, you are seeing approval, right? Because we have changed the GSTIN. So don't get confused actually. It should be approved, and then when you're changing it, it will not trigger the change in status. It will change the status to approval required only when you're uploading a new document. Okay. So that is the scenario here. Because we did not approve the GSTIN, right, what to change. Whenever there is a change in GSTIN, it will always trigger the approval. Now, this is exempted. We have approval required status. Since we have used an existing document for existing approved document, right, it will not trigger India tax approval up step. So when we go and click here, as I mentioned, right, there is the product approval, then there is a GSTI number approval, then there is USD currency approval when you provide USD currency, and then there is India tax approval. So India tax approval comes into picture whenever you upload on a document. We currently only have one approval, which came as a part of change in GSTIN. And again, the one approval, the reason why this is in yellow is we don't have GSTIN approval triggering for this. When you move from a non-SEZ to SEZ taxable per PO or non-SEZ to this, you don't have GSTIN approval. GSTIN approval only triggers when you move from SEZ to non-SEZ. Hope I'm making sense, guys. Any questions here?
No question as such, Ashutosh, but
It's confusing.
it's like being clumsy for us. Like we need to listen and then.
Right. Oh, no, I understand completely.
Right.
There will be a lot of questions when you execute also.
Right.
And it's 8 o'clock, guys. If you want me to stop, I'll stop it here.
Yeah, I have a hard stop question.
Okay.
Yeah, like maybe like again we will go through the recording, and if we have any doubt,
Sure.
we can get that resolved in the next session.
Definitely then. That's fine, guys, completely. So I'll just stop recording here.